Good day, everybody. Again, my name is Eric Leyland, and thank you for jumping into this newsletter. If this is the first time that you've been into this newsletter, we talk all things digital marketing, specifically helping advertisers figure out how to make sure that their brand in 2025, as I sit here in May of 25, grow in the digital universe. So one of the things I wanted to bring up, and obviously the screen kind of speaks to it, is where are we seeing local digital ad revenues going to? So in 2025, we see some major growth in a couple different areas, and when we look at again where things are headed to, this from MediaPost kind of outlines exactly what I see with the clients that I work with in. So we know that digital advertising it can be complex. There's some major titans that really, again, are important levers to your marketing channels. So, and as it talks about here, one of the things that, again, is always going to be dominant is search. So it's really important that you have the ability to target people that are in your local area that are searching for your products or services or business, and that you're getting found. So search is always going to be what I recommend to my clients as being a primary avenue of advertising and media spend. But then we get into some of these other channels like banner advertising and OTT. So when you look at this, and this is really small, so I'm not going to go into it, but when you look at what banner advertising is, it's taking into account social advertising as well as what we see within programmatic advertising in all these areas. This is actually a good example. There's an ad that's running on MediaPost. This is a banner ad. And so it is the second leading area for advertising. And it's pretty darn close to the amount of dollars being spent in search. The one that's tailing behind, but it's getting closer and it's starting to get really close to banner advertising, is OTT. So for those that are not familiar, OTT is over the top. It's also thought of in the terms of connected TV. So streaming TV is an area that OTT is also advertising in. And so when you look at this marker of increase is really, again, why I wanted to put this video together, because it's really challenging. When you look at search, and if you want to just speak specifically about Google, it's not too difficult to run or get started in Google advertising. It really isn't. Anybody can start a Google ad campaign. Now, doing it well is another story, but from a very practical sense, starting a search campaign and running a Google campaign is not logistically very difficult. Banner advertising, it is a little bit more challenging because there's more spaces, right? If you look at, again, the primary area of advertising for banners on social media within Meta, again, most businesses can get in there. It is a lot more complex, I'll be honest, than Google. And again, it's something that anybody can do. Doesn't mean it's easy to do, and I think it is much more difficult. But then if you look at banner ad advertising outside of the social media, it does get very, very complex, right? So there are, just like as we're looking at here, there's websites like MediaPost, and you can speak to literally millions of websites, ESPN, ABC, Wall Street Journal, like any major website. The way that they make money is typically through banner advertisement and subscriptions. So banner advertising is more challenging because you can't just go to all these different websites and advertise your local business, right? It's very, very challenging to do so, which is why companies like Simplifi, where I work during my day job to help integrate into those areas, is really important. You have to have software, which leads into OTT and connected TV. It's really, really challenging to go out and do connected TV advertising because you can't just go out there and start your own campaigns like you can with search and social. Or at least you have to have a really good understanding of how to do it. And again, it comes down to software. Software helps to manage these different areas and to get access to these different areas. So we're connecting the dots, between these websites, between these publishers, between these channels of streaming to make sure that your advertising is then listed in those areas and that you can target them. And it's really starting to grow because of the ability to be in these areas. And as the digital marketing universe starts to mature, right? And I've been in it close to 20 years. When I started in digital advertising, it was really challenging to talk to people to get them to understand why they need to do this and what's going on. Unless you were really forward thinking, many people kind of scoffed at it, at least initially, and then they started to see the importance of Google. and then came along social media advertising, and then came along all these other avenues. OTT and connected TV is one of those things that, again, has been growing over the years, and it's going to continue to grow. Again, at 13%, that's a pretty big growth by the year 2028. So what do you as a business owner, what do you as a marketing agency want to make sure that you're doing? Is that you're engaging with your clients to make sure that they're not falling behind the eight ball, that you as a business are not getting behind your competition in the marketplace, because we know those that adopt it earlier have a lot more success. If you can go into an area and make sure that you have the ability to target those local people or those people that are in your sphere of influence with your marketing, it's going to win you the day, right? We want to make sure that we're adopting these areas and making the impact into them. And we know that search and display and streaming, connected TV, these are all going to be dominated by local budgets. You do not want to get left behind, right? And that's where, again, I've been doing this for very many years, for a long time. Starting in 2006, 2007, I was helping clients with Google advertising. Now, fast forward, it's been really powerful and impactful over the last couple of years to help with, display advertising through Simplifi and connected TV advertising through, these channels, and making sure that you're building your brand. So why is, connected TV such a valuable place to market your business? So when you look at, again, what we do within Simplifi, there's audiences that we want to target. So I wanted to bring this up as a way to show how we actually find and target audiences in these areas. And I'm going to use Philadelphia as a metro to kind of speak to. So within our universe of Simplifi, we have the ability to go out there and find people that are in your area geographically, and you want to reach them. So as you can see, there's 3.3 million targetable homes. That's what a parcel is. And in those, 3.2 million homes, there's lots of different devices. The one to kind of highlight here is connected TV. There are probably over a million connected TV devices, that are in this area. So when you look at it, what we can do is reach into this environment and start to run advertising to streaming devices in the marketplace that you want to reach out to. So then if you want to target this even more specifically, we can get down to figuring out, who we want to reach out to. And Simplifi has over 3,000 different variables that we can go into. So let's say, you want to target people with vehicles that are, 6 to 10 years. So these are people that probably have a vehicle. It's probably run its course, right? Might have 100, 150, 200,000 miles on it, and you want to target those. And we also want to target people, let's say that have leases that are expiring. These are all things that you can put into a filter and then target those people with advertising. Now, within this environment, I'm just going to reduce it down, right? And now we went from 3.2 million people or targetable homes down to 64,000 targetable homes with 40,000 devices that we can run your ads on. So what is this all, speaking to? It's speaking to the ability to target audiences, to find the people that might be of interest to you, and deliver an advertising message into them to start planting those seeds. And the beautiful thing about connected TV is that video can tell a story, right? Video is the ability to speak a message to these individuals and tell a story as to why they should select you. So display ads, again, are inexpensive. They're very valuable because they're reaching all these different areas. They can target personas just like this. But the great thing about connected TV and video advertising is that it can tell the story as to why someone should work with you. And that message can resonate, and it's going to stick with those people a lot longer than a display ad can. But if you're running both, right, then you're lifting your brand across all these different avenues. So again, we know that more dollars are being spent in these areas. We know and we can see that, video advertising, connected TV, OTT, these areas of streaming are, they're reaching new heights. They will eclipse and most likely get very equal to what we're seeing in display advertising. And we want to make sure that the clients that we're helping stay ahead of these trends, right? With anything that's going on in the digital marketing world, There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of disruption, and you want to make sure that you're ahead of the game. So again, what we see is that there is a shift, there is a move in this industry towards streaming advertising, connected TV, and that shift is primarily coming from local digital advertising. So the big players, the GMs, the Pepsis, the Coke, those large entities have already made that shift. Local advertisers are starting to do that as well. So if you work with local advertisers as an agency, or if you yourself are a local business and you're wanting to make sure that your business is viable 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you have to really get a handle on what you're going to do. And connected TV and OTT are a really, really important way of making sure that your brand sticks as we move into the future. So if you have questions about these things, if you've wanted to do it, didn't know how to do it, you want to get more aggressive with your digital advertising, set up a time to chat and I can walk through all the different things that we can do and how we can target those different personas that are right for your business. Again, thank you for taking the time to come into this and check it out. And I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks.